Introduction to Strategic Management. We all know the firm's strategy process is how its managers envision a possible future and guide the firm towards it. In this lesson, we will discuss strategic management, explain need for strategic management, and describe the vision and mission statements. After going through this presentation, you should be able to explain strategic management, characteristics of strategic management, need for strategic management process, and mission and vision. Strategic management is concerned with the determination of the basic long-term goals and the objectives of an enterprise and the adoption of courses of action and allocation of resources necessary for carrying out these goals. Strategic management is a dynamic process of aligning strategies, performance and business results. It is all about people, leadership, technology and processes. Effective combination of these elements will help with strategic direction and successful service delivery. It is a continuous activity of setting and maintaining the strategic direction of the organization and its business, and making decisions on a day-to-day basis to deal with changing circumstances and the challenges of the business environment. Strategic management can be defined as the art and science of formulating, implementing, and evaluating cross-functional decisions that enable an organization to achieve its objectives. Strategic management is different in nature from other aspects of management. An individual manager is most often required to deal with problems of operational nature. Strategic management relates to several areas of a firm's operations, so it requires top management's involvement. Generally, only the top management has the perspective needed to understand the broad implications of its decisions and the power to authorize the necessary resource allocations. Strategic management requires commitment of the firm to actions over an extended period of time. Hence, they require substantial resources such as physical assets, money, manpower, etc. Once a firm has committed itself to a particular strategy, its image and competitive advantage are tied to that strategy. Its prosperity is dependent upon such a strategy for a long time. Strategic management encompasses forecasts what is anticipated by the managers. In such decisions, emphasis is placed on the development of projections that will enable the firm to select the most promising strategic options. Strategic management has complex implications for most areas of the firm. While strategic management may involve making decisions relatively infrequently, the organization must have the preparedness to make strategic decisions at any point of time. No business firm can afford to travel in a haphazard manner. It has to travel with the support of some route map. Strategic management provides the route map for the firm. An increasing number of firms are using strategic management for the following reasons. It helps the firm to be more proactive than reactive in shaping its own future, provides the roadmap for the firm. It helps the firm utilize its resources in the best possible manner, allows the firm to anticipate change and be prepared to manage it, helps the firm to respond to environmental changes in a better way, minimizes the chances of mistakes and unpleasant surprises, and lastly, provides clear objectives and direction for employees. Strategic management process can be described as the identification of the purpose of the organization and the plans and actions to achieve that purpose. Assessing both the external and internal environments is the next step in the strategy process. Managers need to assess the opportunities and the threats of the external environment in the light of the organization's strengths and weaknesses, keeping in view the expectations of the stakeholders. It is that set of managerial decisions and actions that determine the long-term performance of a business enterprise. It involves formulating and implementing strategies that will help in aligning the organization and its environment to achieve organizational goals. Strategic management does not replace the traditional management activities such as planning, organizing, leading, or controlling. Next, business levels. Corporate level strategy is the process of defining the overall character and purpose of the organization, the business it will enter and leave, and how resources will be distributed among those businesses. Business level strategy is the planning process concerned primarily with how to manage the interests and operations of a particular unit within the organization, commonly known as a strategic business unit, SBU. Functional level strategy is the process of determining policies and procedures for relatively narrow levels of activity, different functions of an enterprise like marketing. The strength of the business level strategy is enhanced when functional level strategies support its basic thrust. Vision has been defined in several different ways. Richard Lynch defines vision as a challenging and imaginative picture of the future role and objectives of an organization, significantly going beyond its current environment and competitive position. Nutt and Back-Off have identified 4 generic features of visions that are likely to enhance organizational performance. First possibility means the vision should entail innovative possibilities for dramatic organizational improvements. Second, desirability means the extent to which it draws upon shared organizational norms and values about the way things should be done. Third, actionability means the ability of people to see in the vision actions that they can take that are relevant to them. Fourth, articulation means that the vision has imagery that is powerful enough to communicate clearly a picture of where the organization is headed. The purpose of the mission statement is to communicate to all the stakeholders inside and outside the organization what the company stands for and where it is headed. A mission statement is an enduring statement of purpose. A clear mission statement is essential for effectively establishing objectives and formulating strategies. A mission statement is the purpose or reason for the organization's existence. A well-conceived mission statement defines the fundamental, unique purpose that sets it apart from other companies of its type and identifies the scope of its operation in terms of products offered and markets served. Thompson defines mission as the essential purpose of the organization concerning particularly why it is in existence, the nature of the business it is in, and the customers it seeks to serve and satisfy. Hunger and Whelan simply call the mission as the purpose or reason for the organization's existence. Ranbaxy Pharmaceuticals, to become a research-based global company. McDonald, to offer the customer fast food prepared in the same high quality, worldwide, tasty and reasonably priced, delivered in a consistent low-key decor and friendly manner. Strategy analysis tools are: pest analysis is a technique for understanding the environment in which a business operates. Scenario planning is a technique that builds various plausible views of possible futures for a business. 5 forces analysis is a technique for identifying the forces which affect the level of competition in an industry. Market segmentation is a technique which seeks to identify similarities and differences between groups of customers or users. Directional policy matrix is a technique which summarizes the competitive strength of businesses' operations in specific markets. Competitor analysis is a wide range of techniques and analysis that seeks to summarize a business' overall competitive position. Critical success factor analysis is a technique to identify those areas in which a business must outperform the competition in order to succeed. SWOT analysis is a useful summary technique for summarizing the key issues arising from an assessment of a business' internal position and external environmental influences. Strategic choice is the process that involves understanding the nature of stakeholder expectations, like the ground rules, identifying strategic options, and then evaluating and selecting strategic options. Strategy implementation, often the hardest part. When a strategy has been analyzed and selected, the task is then to translate it into organizational action. If we have understood the various concepts discussed in this lesson clearly. Mission is the overall goal of an organization that all business activities and processes should contribute towards achieving. Right or wrong? Wrong. Strategic management provides overall direction to the enterprise. Right or wrong? Right. The foundation of strategy is a definition of organizational purpose. Right or wrong? Right. Before we end, let us briefly revise what we have studied till so far. Strategic management is a dynamic process of aligning strategies. It is a continuous activity of setting and maintaining the strategic direction of the organization and its business, and making decisions on a day-to-day basis to deal with the changing circumstances and the challenges of the business environment. Strategic management can be defined as the art and science of formulating, implementing, and evaluating cross-functional decisions that enable an organization to achieve its objectives. Strategic management relates to several areas of a firm's operations. Hence, it requires top management's involvement. Strategic management provides the route map for the firm. It helps the firm utilize its resources in the best possible manner and allows the firm to anticipate change and be prepared to manage it. Strategic management process can be described as the identification of the purpose of the organization and the plans and actions to achieve that purpose. Assessing both the external and internal environments is the next step in the strategy process. The purpose of the mission statement is to communicate to all the stakeholders inside and outside the organization what the company stands for and where it is headed. Strategic choice is the process involving understanding the nature of stakeholder expectations, that is, the ground rules, identifying strategic options, and then evaluating and selecting strategic options.